We're afraid of what people will think, or we're afraid we're not good enough, or we're afraid we're too much. And so we hold ourselves back. When we do that, we're muting ourselves. And there are too many people that are muting themselves in the world. And I, for so many years, was one of them. I've discovered the power of unmuting myself, of showing up in the world in a way that is joyfully expressed and boldly alive. That's something that has been so important to me as I've discovered how freeing it is to be unmuted, to unmute our body and to unmute our ideas and to unmute our desires, to unmute ourselves in relationships and at work, and to be our own advocates and to ask for what we want and need. The unmuted life is a life that is fully alive and fully expressed and confident and clear. And to me, it's the only way that I know how to live now. I know what it's like to feel confined and stuck and small and silenced. And I also know what it feels like to be expressed and alive and joyful and present and seen. And it's so much better of a life to be unmuted. And that is what I want to bring you into. Are you ready to unmute yourself? Let's make it happen. Hello, 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 and welcome everybody. It has been a minute since I've done this. I've been focused on some other things like writing songs and writing my book and traveling and all sorts of other fun things. But I am so excited to be here with all of you today. It's not an Unmuted Monday, it's an Unmuted Tuesday. So a little bit different, but thank you all for being here. Let us know if you are joining us. I'd love to know, just to give a hello, where you're joining us from in the chat. Oh my gosh. Bernadette Street is one of the guidance counselors, middle school guidance counselors at where I went to high school. And that's amazing that you have 10 people with you. Oh my gosh. Tim Sohn, so good to have you here. Tim Sohn was there for the release of Somebody, the very first song, and for so many other things. He's such a supporter of so many people. Oh my gosh. William Matthias, good to have you here. We met 5 years ago in the midst of the pandemic and got to do a virtual event together. And now we're in a community with each other called the Outlier Project, which is amazing. Alicia, so good to have you here. And Rich, and yes, Rich and I got to catch up this week, actually. I really enjoyed the conversation. If you don't, everyone that's commenting in the chat, you should go follow all of them because they're all amazing human beings. All of them. They will inspire you. They will uplift you. They will encourage you. They are doing big things in the world. So just a heads up, if you see somebody's name in there, just go follow them. Like Kathy Love and Lindsay Dowd, who were actually present for a little pre-release sneak preview of this song on a retreat we went on with the Outlier Project in Rhode Island a month ago. And the song wasn't even totally finished yet. And I got to perform it for them, and it was so fun. So, oh my gosh, and Zach Demopoulos is en route to DC from New Jersey. And joining us for this, amazing. Tim is joining from the parking lot outside of TJ Maxx. Shout out to TJ Maxx. Jamel, so good to see you here from Toronto. Let's go, Canada. Sandy from Seattle. Oh my gosh. Anthony, another Canadian with us. What's up? Boston represent. I love how Bill's outside of Philly. Percy, Pennsylvania. Did I get it right? Mike from Cincinnati. Oh my gosh. Kia from Indianapolis, who came to the keynote that I did at the Indiana Apartment Association annual conference 2 or 3 weeks ago. Yara was here from Florida. Oh my gosh. Everybody here. Oh, I'm feeling so much love. David from Missouri. Oh my gosh. I missed Scott McGregor. Hello, Scott. We're giving some shout outs to the Outlier Project because amazing, amazing community to be a part of. An international community of awesome humans. Message me if you want to learn more about it. Just want to make sure I'm getting everybody who's here in the chat. This is amazing. Oh my gosh, I feel so supported with this. Just to give you all a heads up, and if you haven't said hello, say hello in the chat. What I'm going to do today is we're not going to go the full hour, just so you know, but I am going to invite some people to come up on the stage with me when I perform the song. And we're going to do that because I want to give you all an opportunity to give shout outs to people in your life who have believed in you when you've doubted yourself. So I'm going to give a little backstory for the song. All right. And about 3 years ago, I started saying in my speeches this phrase, borrow other people's belief in you. And I would say, when you, instead of letting doubt dictate what you do, because so many of us have that experience, right? Instead of letting doubt dictate what you do, borrow other people's belief in you. And as you start to do that, you will build that confidence in yourself, which will then give you the courage to unmute yourself. So that's kind of where that came from. And a year and a half ago, I was, I don't know, in my car, I think driving somewhere, and I recorded a line of borrow their belief in you. It sounded totally different than it does now. And actually, do you want to hear a little snippet of it? Just so y'all know how this works. Songwriting is such an adventure. Like, there's no rhyme or reason to how it works for me. Every single song has come about in a totally different way. So this is like the one line of how I sang it from my car. Hold on a second. Let me see if this is the right track. Borrow the belief in you. Believe what they say is true. And then, what did I say? When you doubt what you can do. This is how it works. Like, I just record, that was on May 13th, 2023. I just record these little snippets of things, and I sit on it. That's the thing with creativity, is like, you can't force it. You can't rush it. You can't like say, I need you to happen now, make a song. I wish it worked that way sometimes. It does not. So that's like an example of something I recorded a year and a half ago. And then this summer, I was working with Leroy Hyson, who is the producer that I work with on all of my songs. And I said, and we were talking, and I was like, I think I want to make a song that's like a little more upbeat. Like, all of my songs are message driven. They're intended to uplift and inspire and help people feel less alone. But like, I need like a little bit of something that's just like a jam, because I was just in the mood for that. I was ready for something different. And so we started working on this song, and I had the hook, borrow their belief in you. And Leroy worked on coming up with the track, with the instrumental. And he's so talented. He's like the most talented person. And oh, Tom Doherty's here. Oh my gosh, yay. I just want to make sure I haven't missed anybody. Okay. So, all right, awesome. In just a minute, by the way, we're going to invite, actually, we'll drop the link in now for anybody that wants to come on stage in a few minutes when I perform this. We'll bring you up on stage with me and get you to share your stories. But in the meantime, I'm going to keep kind of telling you the story behind the song. So anyway, we kept working on it. And I was trying to figure out like, well, what do I want to say? What do I want the song to be about? And sometimes I get really stuck in writing certain lyrics. Because, by the way, speaking of borrowed belief, I have no background in songwriting. I cannot read music. I don't play any instruments. And I have a 50% hearing loss in one ear. So, on the surface, I don't know that there's anybody that'd be like, that person is made to be a songwriter. But Leroy was the person who, when I sat with him for that very first songwriting session in September of 2022, he looked at me and he said, what do you want to write your first song about? And I thought I was there to record covers. Nay. He had a different opinion. And then we started working together, and 5 months later, somebody came out. I released 3 songs last year. I released 1 song this year, and I've worked on 2 others this year that just, they don't feel right. They don't feel like they're in the right spot yet. And so I'm just letting them sit, and I'll come back to them, and maybe I'll release some of them. Maybe they'll shift. Maybe I'll write something new. But just that, the importance of like letting things breathe, of allowing the unfolding, and of in the midst of all of that, borrowing the belief of other people around us who see things in us that we don't yet see in ourselves. So we kept working on this song, and I got to tell you a funny story behind this. This is why you're here. You get to like the full scoop behind the scenes. There were times where I was stuck on the lyrics. And so I went to ChatGPT and I said, put me in the head of somebody who is really doubting themselves, somebody who's full of fear, somebody who's insecure, and like, help me understand what they're thinking. Because I get it, because I've felt all of those things 1,000 times over, but I just wanted to see a different perspective. What did that look like? And that's what got some of my wheels turning, to think about like, oh, okay, like writing the line, don't you know the cracks are where the light gets through and it's your time to shine. That's a little bit of a nod to Leonard Cohen in the song Hallelujah. But there's other things that came up where you stare at a stranger, you stare in the mirror looking at a stranger, wondering when you'll be found out, and I sometimes get this inspiration, and then that gives me the little nudge, and it's like the catalyst to say like, oh, that's what I want to say. And this is how I want to say it. So we went back and forth, and we, since August, and we finished the song. I got to record it in this incredible studio. Like, you guys, this is like epic, top-notch, next-level studio, about a half hour from my house. And this guy, Tony, helps me like go through. And the way that happens when you're recording a song is you just like keep going through over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. And there's a part of the song in the end, it's called the gang vocals, where there's a repeated part. So it's the last chorus. And what I did for that is he had 3 microphone stands in this giant studio with like a piano, like vaulted ceiling. And he had me stand in front of the microphone and record from different distances the phrases. And then I would go to each one, because each one had kind of like a different dynamic in the room. And then all of that got blended together to make those like backing vocals. So any of the backing vocals in the track are me. And Leroy, I think, put himself in there and a little bit of it, because he's so good, like just beyond talented. And I think that's all. And if you have any questions about the song, you can drop them in the chat, or you can come on stage and ask. And yes, trust the journey, Tim. Could not agree more. I could not agree more. So I want to take a moment, and I think if you want to join us on stage, the link is in the comments from Nathan Pearson. So if you want to join us on stage and for the performance, we'll give you a moment to do that. All you have to do is click on the link, and it'll let you kind of like come back here in the green room backstage. And I would love to bring some of you up to give you the opportunity also to give a shout out to somebody who has believed in you, somebody whose belief you've borrowed when you were like unsure of yourself. So that's what we're opening that up for. And I would love to just talk to you. And you could come up very briefly, and then, when you have to go, no worries at all. So it's not like a big commitment. Sometimes people are like, if I come on stage, I have to be here till noon Eastern. No, it's just going to be a few minutes. So in a little bit, just a moment, I'm going to sing the song. I'm going to perform it for you, but I'm going to give you all a moment to come up on stage. And then if you have any questions, and again, that link should take you directly to it. And if for some reason you're having trouble getting in, just let us know in the chat. But let me just, so y'all can see. Oops, that's not it. If you want to hop on StreamYard, there it is. You just have to like copy and paste it, I think is how it works. But would love to, I know, who do I see in the room? I see Yarrow. I know some of you can't join because you're like driving or in a car or in a parking lot. You may not be able to. But if you are able to join, feel free to come on stage. I would love to chat with you. And if you're having trouble getting in, let me know. Because for some reason, like sometimes if there's like a tech glitch and someone's like, I would like to get in, but that link didn't work, we just would need to know is all. The cracks are where the light gets through is a great line. Speaking of, do I have it still? It's downstairs. Zach Demopoulos gave me a flashlight when we first got connected and met. And it was, about letting ourselves shine, which is what the show is all about. If someone could just let me know real quick. Otherwise, I'll just go and perform it. But I would love to have you on the virtual stage. Oh my gosh, Anthony, it works. The link works. We never know. I'm going to bring you up. It's so good to see you.
What is up? It's so good to see you. I miss you so much.
I know. So Anthony is the smiling bow tie. Like, you just need to know about him. He is somebody who's so full of kindness, so full of gratitude. He's so enthusiastic. He's so encouraging. He's so supportive. Like, you need to know him. If you're not already following him, just like change that right now. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
And representing Canada also, so we appreciate that.
Always.
And then Kathy is with us, a fellow outlier.
Kathy!
I didn't realize I was already on. Yes, hi. This is so exciting.
Oh, thank you for being here. And you were part of the original group in Rhode Island when we were like testing that. Frankly, I was like, the song's not done.
And you were amazing. And the song is amazing and you're amazing and we loved it. You had everybody in tears.
Oh, well, I'm so glad to hear that. I'm so glad that y'all are here. And if for anyone who has missed the link, again, it's just in the chat. It says join Rachel on the virtual stage. And I'm just so glad that you all are here because this is like a live concert. I mean, it's like, this is no joke. It's going to happen in just a minute.
We don't have to sing though, right? Anthony, we're not singing here, right?
I don't know if you want me to sing.
I'm not singing.
You'll be muted. You can lip sync if you want. There's no judgment here. I just fully support. You can clap along if you want. If you feel, you can move your butt. You can dance. You can do whatever your little soul feels. You can bop your head. I don't care. Whatever you want to do, I am totally here for. So again, if you're just joining us, welcome. And if you want to join us on the stage, like Kathy and Anthony, you can click on the link that I just dropped in the chat and we'll bring it up on stage. Give it come on up, everybody. We'll give it like another 10 seconds. And then if people happen to come up while I'm singing, we can also just bring them up.
I have a question for you, Rachel.
Yeah.
And this may be, it may be great for you to answer it after you present the song, but I've always been curious, what was the catalyst for you to go from not singing to I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna release the song.
Yeah, I'm happy to share that now because Rich is here. We got to bring Rich up. Rich is a rock star. Hi, Rich. So good to see you again. 2 days in a row. It's like a bonus. So Anthony just asked about like what prompted me to go from basically being muted to unmuted. And frankly, I was in a professional speaker program in 2018 when I was working in my corporate job. Program that I paid for, I sort of like played hooky from work for a few days and just didn't, was like, I'll ask for forgiveness if I have to do that. And I shared the story of how I found my voice in gospel choir when I was in college. So a semester abroad in Spain, like emboldens me. I came back, I tried out for a gospel choir solo. I got it. Bill is here. Welcome, welcome. And so I tried out for this solo. I got the solo. I got a solo every semester after that. And then I like sang at church with my husband for, 12 years, more or less, like on and off, nothing like really committed. And then I'm in this professional speaker training in 2018 and we were sharing stories with each other. And I shared the story of how I found my voice in gospel choir. And the guy I was talking to named James Leith, he was like, oh, you must tell that story every time you get on stage. And I said, no, never. That's not like a corporate story. Why would I tell that story on stage? No, wow. I've never told anyone that story publicly. And I was in this program. Scott is here. Yes. Oh my gosh. This is amazing. Oh my gosh. So many, follow all these people, everybody, because they're amazing humans changing the world. So anyway, I'm in this program and I was writing a script about the audition. And I asked my writing coach, should I sing on stage when I tell that story? And she was like, you're going to be on a stage. Yes.
What do you think?
You should do that. And I was like, but I've never done this before. I've never like performed as a singer, as being a part of being a speaker. Like I don't, because I was still so nervous and self-conscious about it. And I did it. And it became the thing that I was known for in this community. They're like, oh, like Rachel sings. And I'm like, as if I've always done that. I'm like, no, this is so new. And then it was finally like, there's a woman named Shay Rowbottom who is very active on here. So I was in like a program that she was doing like 3 years ago. And I had started posting snippets of myself singing little things during the pandemic after my car accident because I needed something to like lift me up. Sure. And I was like, I'm going to sing and that might help other people. And she was like, Rachel, you should start putting music videos on LinkedIn. Oh my gosh, Zach is Zach Kamopoulos. Hi. She's like, you should start putting music videos on LinkedIn. And I was like, music videos of what? She was like, I don't know, like covers. So I reached out to Leroy and I was like, I want to record some covers. And then I went into his basement and he goes, what do you want to write your first song about? And I was like, that is not what I'm here for. And then we started working on Somebody. And then I didn't know that I could write songs. I didn't know, like I didn't have any training or background in this. And then I was like, well, I want to write a song about being somebody because all of us want to feel like we're somebody who matters. And then that was the beginning of this journey. So
that's beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing that, Rachel.
Yeah. Thank you for asking. It's like, my 9-year-old self is like, excuse me, we're doing what? Like I was on Saturday, I was in a room with a bunch of like 10-year-olds at a musical theater masterclass. I was by far the oldest person. I could, and by like 3 or 4 times. And they're all getting up on stage and they're like so shy when they're singing. And I'm like, I was you, but I wouldn't even get on stage. So I still work on it. I take voice lessons every Friday. Like I just started doing that in person a month ago because I want to get better at this. And I want to feel as alive in front of people as I do when I'm singing in my shower. So anyway, amazing question. And we're going to open it up after. So I'm going to transition to performing Believe in You for all of you amazing people. And then we'll open it up afterwards for anybody that wants to give a shout out to somebody who has believed in you. That has, when you've doubted yourself or you just needed a little boost. So we're going to bring it into, I think whatever that side-by-side mode is. And I'm going to get ready to go here. I think, what is that? There we go. Spotlight, and look at these amazing people. Like I said, if you want to dance, if you want to lip sync, if you want to bop your head, if you want to give high fives to the people above and below you, I don't care. You do whatever you want. So this is my song, Believe in You. Okay. Do thoughts ever cross your mind? Like, who do you think you are? Do you really think you have what it takes? And how did you get this far? You stare in the mirror, looking at a stranger, wondering when you'll be found out. The voice inside gets louder and louder, working hard to tear you down. Through the noise, a voice breaks through. Someone out there knows what you can do. Borrow their belief in you. Lean into it. When you doubt yourself, call on someone else. Borrow their belief in you. You can do it if you let yourself receive it. Sooner or later, you'll believe in you too. Now tell me, am I the only one that has this thought? What if one day they expose the cracks you're trying to hide? You're not as good as you pretend to be, feeling like a fraud inside. You stare in the mirror, trying to remember when you last felt an ounce of pride. Don't you know the cracks are where the light gets through, and it's your time to shine. Through the noise, a voice breaks through. Someone out there believes in you. Borrow the belief in you. Lean into it. When you doubt yourself, call on someone else. Borrow the belief in you. You can do it if you let yourself receive it. Sooner or later, you will stand a little taller. You've got what you need to fly above the sky. When the voice of doubt gets louder, let the ones that lift you up bring out the best in you. Borrow the belief in you. Hey, lean into it. Come on. When you doubt yourself, call on someone else. Borrow the belief in you. You can do it if you let yourself receive it. And baby, you'll believe it. When you doubt yourself, call on someone else. Borrow the belief in you. You can do it if you let yourself receive it. Sooner or later, you'll believe in you.
Oh my God, that was so amazing. Front row pass to Rachel Miller.
So beautiful. So beautiful.
That was amazing, Rachel.
Oh, everybody. I'm going to get you all back in group mode. Oh my gosh, that's amazing. And I love this. Oh, Zach's shining his flashlight.
That's a lighter, yeah.
And Rich has got this. So, a funny story. Do you want to hear this? Okay. Rich, when did I send you that bookmark?
Oh gosh, it's been a while.
So when I wrote the song Somebody, I made bookmarks and I put the QR code on the back of it. And the phrase I put on the front of the bookmark, oddly enough, was not any lyric from somebody, but it was 2 years ago, borrow other people's belief in you.
No coincidences.
Who knew?
Amazing.
It's like the seed was planted, you know, and like it's just so cool how these things come to fruition, you know. So I would love to hear. Well, one, if anyone has any questions, I'm more than happy to answer them. If anyone has any comments, more than happy to receive them. And if anyone wants to give a shout out to somebody whose belief you have borrowed when you have doubted yourself, I just want to open up the floor for whoever wants to do that. Yeah, Rich, we're going to kick off with you.
I think we talked about this yesterday, Rachel. First of all, beautiful song. Thank you. I have a recognition wall next to my desk with things like this on it, believe it or not. That's where I grabbed this from, as well as notes from people when I've done things for them or when I've had a success or in our business or whatever. We've pleased our customers. So 5 years ago, I was going to present at a leadership conference at the University of Wisconsin-Madison, where I work. It was one of the first times I was going to be in front of a large group, and I was going to be doing it with a partner. So we prepared, and I was really nervous, but we knew that, you know, us talking together was going to be like our safety net. The day before we were going to go and do this presentation, she called me and she had to go in for emergency surgery. She wasn't going to be there. So in less than 24 hours, I had to figure out how to do the presentation on my own for 120 people. I was super nervous. And one of the people that worked at the conference group that was part of the UW as well wrote me a note and handed it to me before I went up in front of the room and said, read this later. And I did the presentation, and of course it worked out, and I didn't die. I didn't freak out. So afterwards, I opened the note, and it said, you did it. Thank you for presenting today. Our organization has been strengthened by your knowledge, and I'm in constant awe of your talents. So the belief was there, right? The note was written ahead of when I did it, and it was amazing. So that's an example of someone that had faith in me, even though I was nervous as hell, and it worked out. And that's like my main motivator on my, you know, encouragement board here to keep going.
You rock, Rich.
Come out in the end, right?
You rock, brother. You rock.
Thanks, Zach.
Isn't that an amazing story? And it's like, it was like declared before you even did it.
Yeah.
It was like a done deal. It was like, okay, we already know this. You might not know this yet,
right,
but we already know. So here, because we know this is about to come true. Like,
and those people honestly were also there to catch me if I did fall, right?
Yeah.
I mean, there was a support network around me, whether, you know, you walk into a space like that, and Rachel, I'm sure you even still probably get nervous going on stage, right? And you're doing this as a profession. The people are there and they're going to help you through it. But it was having that confidence in me ahead of me doing it that was so, I guess, impressive to me that I was like, wow, that was great. So
that's awesome. That is so great. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for kicking us off with that and for sharing that. And for Zach chiming on the love there. Zach is another person I know who just like believes in everybody. Like he's just as the encourager. I mean, I didn't even know you. You sent me a like custom flashlight. I was like, who is this guy?
I like flashlights. I do. I'd like to say something real quick because I got to get back on the road, but I finally pulled over. So I got to say, first of all, thank you for what you do. You were in my eardrums all morning. I have a 4-hour drive to DC, and I've been playing my Rachel Drucker-Miller playlist, and it's so nice to add that fourth one, which I think is the best, though somebody will always be a dear memory to me since I was there when it was launched with you. But I just want to thank you. I think you're just incredible. You really are. And you just keep going, and you'll inspire so many. I know at that school where you grew up in, I know you're inspiring those kids so much. You're inspiring everybody. Real quick, 2 shout outs, actually. One is to my dad, who his birthday was just the other day, and he's been in heaven since 2011. But he really, he didn't say much. He was a total introvert. But when he did say something, it was powerful. And a lot of times he would see how I was losing my confidence as a young kid, son of an immigrant family, totally unpolished, and just didn't really know how to deal with being socially adept. And he would always say some of the most brilliant things to me, and it was all full of confidence. And I never saw what he was telling me. So your song really rings true to me there. And of course, the second shout out has got to be my wife Phyllis, who picked it up from my dad's after we got married. She picked it up, and she has always sang to me for my confidence, giving me my confidence. You know, the downside of being a loud extrovert Greek is everyone thinks you're cocky, you're confident. Well, truth of the matter is, like I love what Rich said. There are so many times when I'm not so confident, and you do need somebody to really kind of hit you upside the head or say something to you. And Phyllis, my wife of 37 years, has always been there for me and has done that. So shout out to her.
Oh, love Phyllis. And I've had the opportunity to meet her. She's phenomenal. What do we have, like a 3-hour dinner at a Greek restaurant? Come on now. Like epic in every way. You're the best. Thank you for pulling over on your 4-hour drive to come be a part of this. You're the best, Zach. Thank you so much. And by the way, if anybody else isn't up here but wants to be, we'll drop the link again in the chat. And if anyone has to pop off, like you don't have to apologize. You can just like quietly Irish goodbye and like I won't be offended. So I just but would love to hear from Anthony. Hi.
Again. Yes. So I usually do give a shout out to my mom in every keynote that I do. And I don't think I give her enough credit. When she passed last year, it's what gave me my purpose. It just unveiled itself, and all the presence of happiness and the tools that she gave me, it all came from that. And I didn't see it until she passed. And it's, I continue to look out for, man, sorry, this is very difficult for me to say. It's, she's given me so much, and she's believed in me since the beginning. I think she knew that I was destined to do these great things that I'm doing. And if she didn't believe in me, then I wouldn't be where I'm at. So, every day I always thank her for the things that she's given me, and for the belief. And I know she knew that I was going to be here. I know she knew. And so, yeah, I have to give her a shout out as well. I have to give a shout out to my wife, because she put up with me for so freaking long, and all these career changes that I did. And then I was like, hey, honey, I'm going to be a keynote speaker. She's like, are you freaking kidding me? So yes, shout out to my wife. She's been so supportive in this crazy career. I mean, you know what it's like, Rachel. It's like just starting off is so freaking hard. And for her to just be by my side and really just being my number one celebrator for everything that I do, it's amazing.
I love this. What is your mother's name and your wife's name? So you can like just send some energy.
Crazy. Yeah. They're both named Laura.
Stop it. But of course.
Actually, my mom's name is Lourdes, but everyone called her Laura. And my wife's name is Laura.
Now
right?
I'm like, what's the etymology of Laura? Like, that's where my head goes. I'm like, I'm going to look up the meaning of the name Laura. I'm like, I help myself. That is what a beautiful tribute. What a beautiful tribute.
Thank you.
I mean, you are making both of them so proud, and you're going to continue to do that just by being who you are and nothing more. Just like by being the expression of the smiling bow tie through everything. Did your mom put the bow ties on you? Like, where did that, was she part of that?
No, she never got to see the bow ties. So aww. I know, which is, it's sad, but at the same time, it's, it is something special.
Yeah.
Cause she's part of that.
Yeah.
She's totally part of that.
That's so cool. Oh, I love it. I love it. I can't wait until like we get to meet in person, by the way. Like, this is going to happen at some point in the next year.
I am manifesting it right here, right now, that next year we will meet.
Done. It's been
going
declared.
to happen.
It's been declared. I've met Kathy and Rich in person. Bill and I have spent time online together.
It's worth the wait, Anthony. I can tell you that. It's worth the wait.
No doubt.
Definitely
No
worth it.
doubt. Rachel, you've
hugger.
always been an inspiration to me in, what's possible, especially, just starting off in my speaking career. I've always looked to you as that's where I want to be.
That
So
means
thank
so
you.
much. Thank you. That I so appreciate you. Truly, you light up my feed with every comment that you leave, and I appreciate you.
I appreciate you too.
Anthony. Thank you, Kathy. I'm gonna come over to
Yeah.
you. Yeah.
Good. I'm ready. The first time I ever heard that phrase was in 2014 when I was at the absolute worst point in my life. And I had a life coach who I was working with ask me how I was. And my response was I was at 2%. I was just I was in such bad shape. And he is the first person who said, if you don't believe in yourself, can you at least believe in my belief in you? And that changed things for me in a big way and led me down the path I went down until I started working with Scott McGregor. And he is the one who daily would be that reminder to speak up and tell me that what I had to say was worth hearing. And then that grew into the Outlier Project community, which is the reason I even clicked yes to this. I wouldn't have done this probably 2 months ago. And so now that whole community has just given me their belief to take forward. And it's a beautiful, beautiful thing that I hope to be able to do, to give that back to someone.
I feel like you do so well. You have such a gentle spirit and a generous heart. And to get to be with you in person and experience that warmth that you exude was just so magical.
I loved it. I loved meeting in person.
It was amazing.
And don't tell Bill I'm here because we're supposed to be on a Zoom call together at 11. And so he doesn't know, but just if you see him, don't let him know.
By the way, Outlier Project represent on this screen right here.
Yeah.
So speaking of Bill, did you want to chime in and say anything? Oh, wait, you're muted for some reason. We can't hear you. I don't know why. You're not muted, but we can't hear you. Technical difficulties. We are trying. No, I don't know why. Is there a different mic you can use? Maybe you go to settings, pick the microphone on the bottom. And by the way, if anyone I've missed, I've not paid any attention to the chat on LinkedIn. But if anyone is with us and wants to jump on stage, the link is in the last comment in the chat, and we'll bring you up. It's gonna work. I'm determined that it's gonna work. Yes,
I can feel it. I can feel it.
Can you feel it? Can you feel
There
it?
it is.
There it is. See?
That one worked. Okay, that
Yep.
one worked. Perfect. I was going to say the same thing. Don't let Kathy know I'm on. And you've asked who have you borrowed things from in terms of belief. Honestly, Rachel, that would be a song release takeover, which I don't want to do. But nonetheless, we can go back to and I was just scrolling through to figure out when was the first time you and I met. And that.
Oh no.
Oh, wait, you froze. Come back.
Ran into meeting Enrique, and we put on that event about for a better workplace, about mental health in the workplace, which spawned from Claude saying just embrace it, and her random message to me and that type of thing. And so it's been amazing to see your journey, everything from there to Humans First to your accident to everything that you've been doing, and it's been quite remarkable. And Anthony, I can relate. I lost my mom 8 years ago. I lost my dad in the beginning of April, sort of suddenly. then we lost his sister, and then we lost his brother just recently. And that's, you know, Rachel, you've probably seen a little bit of a different spin on things that I put on LinkedIn and like what happened. But now I'm just like, you know what? It's terrifying, but I'm leaping into myself, right? It's terrifying and it's freeing at the same time. So that said, I'm excited to chat with Kathy. You know, and Rachel, I hope you and I someday can like meet in person, because we're really not that far away. Like I'd hop on a train. I mean, I'm not working now, so I've got all the free time in the world. But that's always a fun part as well. So
it is. I'm here for it. We're going to do like an Outlier Project meetup in this area. That's going to happen. And then we'll just have that as an excuse to hang out. Cool.
Very good.
Anthony, you can fly here and join us if you want.
Where are you situated again?
Baltimore. He's outside of Philly. Well, ish.
That's what, a 8-hour drive, 10 hours?
Maybe 8.
Again, worth every mile.
7.5, 8.
Every kilometer.
We also have airplanes.
Yeah, but I have a Tesla and I got free supercharging credits, so it technically wouldn't cost me anything.
Oh, except your time, which
Except
you can listen
my
to
time.
podcasts and talk to people. We're scheming this. We will let you know, even though you don't live in our geography. We will let you know when we have our gathering.
But that's also 8 hours of thinking time.
Indeed.
With a new playlist.
With a new playlist. Yes.
I love it. I love it. Well, I just thank you all for being here. Like, I know that you have different things to hop off to, so I will I'll let everybody bounce. And I just thank you so much for sharing, for giving shout outs, for sharing your own experience of borrowing people's, belief in you, because all of us, if we're honest, I mean, nobody who's ever made it is like, I did it all by myself and I never doubted it. Not one time.
Congratulations, Rachel. Thank you.
Thank you all
Thank
so
you
much.
so much, Rachel.
Thank you.
And congratulations again.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I
Congrats.
appreciate it. Oh my gosh, y'all are the best. And for anybody that is still with us, you give it hello in the chat. If you joined us late, if for some reason you joined us late, oh, sorry, I'm looking at two things right now. I'm looking at the LinkedIn chat and, oh, hey there, Paul is here. I missed this. Paul and Yarrow, all your comments. I don't know how I've been missing them, but LinkedIn didn't refresh. So in any case, I just wanted to thank everybody for being here today. I will, if you want me to, I have to sing the song one more time. If you want, you can. Oh, Tim, I didn't even see your comment. And then I said that. You can get the song, by the way. Nathan's going to drop the link in the chat. It is available. People ask me, how do I listen to it? Literally search my name on Google and search Believe in You and it'll pop up. It's on all music streaming platforms. It's on Spotify, Pandora, Apple Music, iTunes, YouTube. What else do people listen to? Some other things I've never heard of, like Deezer and Tidal. I don't know what those things are, but apparently my song is on them. So in any case, that is how you go check out the song. That is how you listen to it. And because Tim asked for an encore, Tim, I'm gonna go ahead and do an encore because you are joining us from the parking lot of TJ Maxx. And drop in the chat if you want to. Oh, Rich, thank you for joining us. If anyone wants to drop in the chat and just give a tag to somebody who is a belief you've borrowed, somebody who you really admire, somebody who has supported you and encouraged you in moments where you're like, I don't know if I can do it. So if you want to tag somebody in the comments, that way they will hear the song and they will be encouraged and they will know that you are grateful for them. Or for somebody that like they just need a boost right now, just give them a tag and say, hey, I believe in you. So we're going to hopefully light up the chat. Yeah, same brain time. We're going to hopefully light up the chat with just like borrowed belief and kindness and support. And Paul, I know you were probably the first pre-order and that means so much. Like, honestly, y'all, I feel so supported. Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. Maybe I'll do another music video and do this song. We'll see what happens. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and by request, Maureen, well, guess what? Good thing you joined late because I'm going to sing it again. Oh my gosh. Okay. So here we go for the lifers that are in here. I so appreciate it. Again, give a shout out to somebody whose belief you borrowed, or just send them a text message and be like, done, right in the chat, done if you texted somebody. If you text them the song or just say, hey, I believe in you, you're awesome. And I'm going to go ahead and sing it. Okay. Yay. Here we go. Do thoughts ever cross your mind? Like, who do you think you are? Do you really think you have what it takes? And how did you get this far? You stare in the mirror, looking at a stranger, wondering when you'll be found out. The voice inside gets louder and louder, working hard to tear you down. Through the noise, a voice breaks through. Someone out there knows what you can do. Borrow the belief in you, lean into it. When you doubt yourself, call on someone else. Borrow the belief in you, you can do it. If you let yourself receive it, sooner or later, you'll believe in you too. So sometimes I have this thought, I worry about it. What if one day they expose the cracks you're trying to hide? You're not as good as you pretend to be, feeling like a fraud inside. You stare in the mirror, trying to remember when you last felt an ounce of pride. Don't you know the cracks are where the light gets through, and it's your time to shine. Through the noise, a voice breaks through. Someone out there believes in you. Borrow the belief in you, lean into it. When you doubt yourself, call on someone else. Borrow the belief in you, you can do it. If you let yourself receive it, sooner or later, you will stand a little taller. You've got what you need to fly above the sky. When the voice of doubt gets louder, let the ones who lift you up bring out the best in you. Borrow the belief in you, hey, lean into it. When you doubt yourself, call on someone else. Borrow the belief in you, you can do it. If you let yourself receive it, and baby, you'll believe it. When you doubt yourself, call on someone else. Borrow the belief in you, you can do it. If you let yourself receive it, sooner or later, you'll believe in you. And that, my friends. Yay! Yay, 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 yay. Thank you all for being here. It's such a gift. I really appreciate it. You can find the song, again, we'll drop the link in one more time. Wherever you listen to music, it is there. And if you post on Instagram, Anna Morgan, oh my gosh, so good to see you. If you post reels on Instagram, you can use it behind a reel. So if you're like doing a reel as an encouragement or a shout out or whatever, like you can put any of my songs behind your reels, and you can pick the clip that you want and like move it along just like you would any other song. So if you end up doing that, you know, it means so much. You know, I don't do this to make money off of it. I do it because I flipping love it. I am very much not profitable making music, but that is not the only reason to do something. I do it because I flipping love it. And because I get to have moments like this with you where I get to share my passion and my heart and my joy, and where my 9-year-old self gets to have a dream come true. And that is worth every bit of any work that I put into these songs. So I just want to thank you all. Oh, Haiti, good to have you here. Oh my goodness. And Maureen, love the shout out to John. So everybody, thank you for being here. I so appreciate it. Appreciate Nathan being behind the scenes, moving all the things around and making everything happen and getting you all the links in the chat. I just trying to make sure I didn't miss anybody. But yes, so thank you all so much for being here. I really appreciate it. Stay tuned. I'm hopefully going to do a Christmas sing-along December. And some more to come on that because I didn't get to do it last year because I was sick. So anywho, thank you. I'm going to play the song as an outro. Angela, so good to see you here. You are welcome. Yes, see, you know what? Never too late. This is why we do encores. So as we are exiting today, I'm going to play like the recorded track. But it is so darn fun to sing it for all of you. So I'm glad, Paul, that you enjoyed that. So with that, everybody have a fantastic week. Reach out to somebody today who has believed in you. Let them know you appreciate them. Let them know the impact of their belief in you, because sometimes we don't know. We don't know the impact of the belief that other people have had in us, or the belief we've had in other people, unless we tell each other. So here's to telling each other. Thank you all again so much for being here, and I will send us out with the track. Bye, everybody. Do thoughts ever cross your mind? Like, who do you think you are? Do you really think you have what it takes? And how did you get this far? You stare in the mirror, looking at a stranger, wondering when you'll be found out. The voice inside gets louder and louder, working hard to tear you down. Through the noise, a voice breaks through. Someone out there knows what you can do.